Today we're going to take a look at a factoring review. So if you remember, factoring is when I always like to think of it undistribute. So for example, if you had 2x plus 12, you could undistribute the 2. So this is really 2x plus 6 because you can divide both of those by 2. So today we're going to specifically talk about how we factor quadratics. And there's these three terms. So if you guys remember, these are in the forms ax squared plus bx plus c. And there's a variety of different ways to do this, and I'm going to show you two different ways. So the first way that a lot of people did last year is they did these box and circles. So they did 3x squared, 11x, and positive 10. And then they multiplied a times c. So a times c is 30. And then they listed out factors of 30. So 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 10, 4 doesn't go in there, 5 times 6. And you say, which factors add up to 11? So those do. So those numbers go right in here, 5x and 6x. Then we said, well, what goes on the outside? Well, 3x, to get 3x squared. Well, when I look at this first row, the biggest thing that goes in here is x. So on the top has to be 3x, so 3x, and that works because it's divisible into 3x squared and 6x. So now for this top right, x times what gives us 5x is 5. 3x times what gives us 6x is 2, and double check, 5 times 2 gives us 10. So this factors into 3x plus 5 and x plus 2. Or another way of doing this, again, it's always nice to have some options, is some people like to go like this, and they say, well, 3 times 10 is 30. So you start the same way. What multiplies to 30 and adds to 11? So that's 5 and 6. So you could rewrite this 3x squared plus 5x plus 6x plus 10. So I expanded that middle term here. And now if I draw a line down the middle, I'm going to just do a factor out of each side. So what's the biggest factor of 3x squared and 5x is x. If I factor that out, it's 3x plus 5. And what goes up divides into 6 and 10, well, that's a 2. So if I factor a 2 out, this is 3x plus 5. And it factors in to what's here on the outside, and then that parentheses, that's the same. So it factors into the exact same thing we have up there. Now, for this second one, I'm going to see if I can find one. Let's see. I want to see if I can get one here that has some subtraction in it. Let me quick find another problem. Sorry, guys. Let's try this one instead. Let's try 5x squared plus 19x minus 4. And we'll look at the same two methods again. So again, we make our box and our circle. So 5x squared, 19x, and negative 4. We multiply that a times c, so 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. So what multiplies? Well, 20 and 1 with either, they could be negative 2 and 10, 3, no, 4 and 5. So again, I want what multiplies to 19, or adds to 19. Well, that would be 20 and negative 1. So 20x, negative 1x. Yep, if I add those reds together, I get that blue circle. Now, what's going to go on the outside? Well, to get this 5x squared, I'm going to put a 5x here and an x on top. That gives us 5x squared. So 5x times what gives us 20x is plus 4. X times what gives us negative 1x is negative 1. So this factors into 5x minus 1 and x plus 4. Or, again, I'll show you the other way. 5x squared plus 19x minus 4. Again, we multiply, so it starts that same way. Multiplies to 20 and adds to 19. So I can expand that 19x into 20x minus 1x minus 4. Draw a line down. Well, what divides into each of these is a 5x. So factor out a 5x, so all that's left is x plus 4. And now I want this parenthesis to be x plus 4, so I'm going to have to factor out a negative 1. So negative 1, and that would be x plus 4. So again, we get the same thing, 5x minus 1 and x plus 4. All right, so again, we're just going to take a look at a couple more. So this one here. So we have x squared minus x minus 2. A times c here, a is just 1, so multiplies to negative 2 and adds to 1. Negative 1, so negative 2 and 1. So negative 2x and 1x. So x and x minus 2 plus 1. X minus 2 and x plus 1. And again, you can get the same thing doing the other way. X squared minus x minus 2. So it multiplies to negative 2 and adds to negative 1. So x squared minus 2x plus 1x minus 2. So to this left side is just an x. Now to this right side would just be a 1. So then we just have x minus 2. So it factors into x plus 1 and x minus 2. I think we'll skip this last one. So the last one type I wanted to remind you of, if you have a squared minus b squared, a shortcut for factoring is a plus b and a minus b. Difference of squares, the subtraction of two perfect squares. So if we can square root both of these, this is 11 and 9x, so this would factor into 11 minus 9x and 11 plus 9x. And again, it only works if you can square root both of them. So 7x minus 8 and 7x plus 8.